Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Forget Nico, Falling for the Wrong Italian by Gaia B. Amman, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Part 1. Forget Nico? Chapter 1. Sweep them off their feet. When Alex asked me, "Lee, do you want to be my girlfriend?" I almost died of a heart attack. It was a sweet summer night in 1990, and the breeze carried the scent of honeysuckle and the first notes of fall, decaying leaves and melancholy. My fat cat Fuzzer meowed, rubbing against the bars of the gate he was too big to squeeze through. The branches of the huge poplar that towered in my front yard whispered in the night, interrupted only by the crickets and my deafening silence. Alex was perfect, and 2 years older than me. Even Starry, my mom, loved him for a change, and yet his words echoed in my empty brain. "Lee, do you want to be my girlfriend?" I asked, flabbergasted. Why me? At 12, I was such a tomboy that everyone called me Lee, though my name was Lita. Alex, on the other hand, he was gorgeous. His wild golden hair made him look like the rebel he pretended to be, but he was sweet and sincere most of the time. Not when he had stolen a pair of my panties from the laundry pile. It was not the first time I had witnessed the very underestimated power of hormones in puberty. He balked. "What do you mean, why?" He stared at me right in front of my house in the little northern Italian town of Arras, where he had walked me back after an evening out with our friends. I looked at the asphalt, hating the warmth burning my cheeks. "I got the gist," I explained, referring to the spiel that had led to his unexpected question. "You want a girlfriend you can talk to, but that doesn't mean you like me that way, right? We're friends." "Well," he looked at his cream Converse sneakers, same as mine, just bigger. "When you left for summer vacation, I thought about you all the time. I couldn't sleep. And then when I saw you tonight, everything made sense." He scratched his head, messing up his long hair even more. "Am I making any sense?" "No, but I'm used to it." He smiled, and his hazel eyes peeked at me from behind his rebel strands. "So?" I mustered my courage and looked into his eyes. "Alex, I'm sorry, but I can't be your girlfriend. You are a friend and a dear one, too, but I don't feel that way about you." The postcard burning in the back pocket of my jeans reminded me that, in spite of common sense, I felt that way about one of my oldest friends, Nico. Nico was a ruthless slacker and a troublemaker who didn't care about anyone, and yet his postcard from Sicily had found my mailbox 2 hours ago. Alex's face twisted in a grimace of hurt, disbelief, and amusement. "What? Are you rejecting the great Alex?" "I guess," I answered, relieved to be back to our usual banter. "Fine. I guess I must change your mind, then." "Oh, quit it. I won't fall for your romantic stronzetti." Then I remembered that I could fall for those romantic stronzetti, indeed. An eloquent stranger had squeezed out of me my first and only kiss, no tongue, only a few weeks before at summer camp in Tuscany. Alex needed to know nothing of that, but my love life was a catastrophic mess. "Good night, Alex." "Lee, I mean it. I'll get you one day." I sighed and turned back to him. "Oh, great Alex, please find another damsel in distress. Nerdy little me needs no rescuing." "We shall see." He reached for my shoulder and pulled me into a big hug. I tensed, but it was just a genuine friendly hug. I hugged him back and pushed away, disappearing into my garden. Hyperventilating. What's wrong with everyone? I ran to my door with all the emotions I had been hiding rushing to my cheeks. I unlocked the entrance door and snuck upstairs. The big house was dark and silent. I was 15 minutes late. At first. Mom would have killed me and grounded my corpse for life if she found out, but nothing stirred. Viola, my older sister, was back in Padua for her second year of college, so Mom and I had the house to ourselves. I tiptoed to the second-floor bathroom and stared at my ugly face in the mirror. Bushy eyebrows, wild, unkempt long hair burned to the hay by the sun and the chlorine of too many summer days spent at the outdoor pool of the Pro, our little gated community. I was short, skinny, and flat like an ironing board. My only pretty feature? Bright blue-green eyes that changed color based on the weather or what I wore. So how is it that suddenly Alex likes me? I snuck back to my room without brushing my teeth and closed the door for privacy. My old, worn-out blankie, Harry, had been aging with me. I was weird that way, and I hugged it while lying in the bed. More than the way I looked, it was the way I felt that was wrong. Like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I was odd, belligerent, and wise beyond my years. Not girlfriend material. Alex was crazy. Was he? Could Nico the thug, as I called him in my head, like me that way too? I hadn't seen him since June, but he had called on my birthday and had written the famous postcard resting in the pocket of my jeans. There is hope after all. I stared at the halo that my bedside lamp painted on the ceiling and took a deep breath. Nico and I had known each other since we were 9. His dark side fascinated me because it reflected a bit of my own. For once, I was eager for school to start. I turned the light off and joined my hands to glean extra help. Dear Jesus, please make sure that Nico missed me a lot this past summer and that he can't wait to see me. Make him see me the way Alex does, even if Alex is crazy, not like Nico's normal anyway. And please make everyone happy with good reason. Amen. I always concluded my prayers that way because I didn't want Jesus to think I was selfish, and I also feared a planet swarming with happy fools. I closed my eyes and fell fast asleep. On the first day of my second year of middle school, the usual crowd gathered in front of the big glass doors waiting for them to open. We had no lockers, and kids carried whichever books they needed in huge backpacks, typically colorful Invicta bags. My sister found a new brand hilarious, SOB, short for Save Our Backs, but I didn't understand what was so funny beyond Italians being pretentious by using English. Romeo sang, "We have 4 UEFA Champions League cups." He was Nico's best friend and a fanatic of AC Milan, one of the 2 soccer teams from the big city. Sure enough, Nico was arguing at his side. He was much taller than I remembered, his untamed black hair longer on his tanned face, but his raucous laughter was the same. My heart hiccuped, but he didn't notice me. The bell rang and we poured into our classroom, the same we shared for all our courses. The walls, like the entire school, were dark brown, which summarized the way I felt about school. A map of Europe, wrinkled and torn at the corners, hung on the front wall by the door, not too far from the small crucifix where a preternaturally white Jesus was nailed in eternal remembrance of our shameful mistakes. For lack of better options, I sat by Grazia, whom I didn't know well. Her ruddy, round face was more peculiar because of a brown birthmark on her left cheek. Her best friend, gorgeous Laura Alani, was sitting on Grazia's other side. It takes spunk to befriend someone that popular and not give a damn about your looks. If Grazia did, she pretended well, and I envied her for that. The first day of school was always a joke, the schedule not set yet, teachers arguing about it, or missing altogether. We passed around brand new planners, most of them Memoranda brand, to exchange doodles and cheesy quotes. "Balmy," Romeo called in the general mayhem. I preferred when classmates called each other by first name like in elementary school. "What's with these?" he asked. He fanned out a few pictures from the seaside I had slid into the first pages of my planner. It had made its way to Nico and Romeo's desk. "What?" I asked. The pictures were self-explanatory and nothing special. "What do you mean, what? You're hot here for a change. Why don't you let your hair down ever?" My face warmed and I hated myself for it. Romeo was a flirt and a known player, his last name befitting his romantic tendencies, but not the loyalty of the famous Shakespearean character. Still, I hoped Nico saw the pictures too. He stared out of the window, his hands crossed behind his head, as moody as ever. He hadn't even said hi, but neither had I. Why didn't I ever let my hair down? Because it was freaking annoying, and because if I didn't try to be pretty, nobody could blame me for failing. "Because I don't care," I answered, while in fact I had just come up with a plan to sweep Nico off his feet. The following morning I sported one of my sister's old miniskirts made of pink denim, and I let my hair down after having it painfully brushed like Grandma had taught me. The doorbell rang, startling me. Mom, who had been ecstatic at my outfit when we had put it together the night before, now glared at the world from behind her triple espresso. I frowned. Who the heck is it at this time of the morning? Mom mumbled something unintelligible, so I grabbed my backpack and walked to the door. Alex flashed a dashing smile from the gate. Want to go to school together? I walked out of the house like in one of those nightmares where you're naked in front of everyone. Alex, we don't even go to the same school. Alex gave me the once-over and exclaimed, ogling me from his bike. Wow, Lee, is this how you go to school? You look like a girl. Gee, Alex, thanks. I walked toward him and his bike. My bike has a flat tire, though, and I can't go with you. I have to walk. Alex smiled, faking a big huff. So much for not being the damsel in distress. Here, hop on. Your school is on the way. He gestured to his crossbar where I sat, hugging my Invicta backpack on the handlebar. When the warmth of his chest brushed my back, I realized just how close the situation was forcing us to be. Awkward. Alex whispered in my ear, I made you a cassette. It's by Marco Massini. Very awkward. I shivered, but it wasn't cold at all. I tried to scoot forward on the handlebar to increase the distance between us, but I had nowhere to go. Alex handed me the cassette and took off. Ah, thank you. I heard of him. I clutched the cassette of the Italian songwriter and buried my face into my backpack. Alex pedaled away. Forced to sit in his arms made me giddy. I loved to be close to him without him feeling entitled to do things to me. I hid my face behind my hair just in case I was blushing. I could get used to Alex's attentions. That jerk Nico had better see whatever Alex liked, because I would not wait forever. Alex dropped me off and veered toward the high school. The street was closed to regular traffic and crowded with kids locking their bikes, chatting, laughing, and pushing each other. The tall trees in the courtyard and the forest beyond the school grounds at the edge of the field still whispered about summer. I walked toward the main entrance, looking at my sneakers. Grazia's voice startled me. Balney, is that your brother? Oh, Caso, Grazia, you scared me. No, that's my friend Alex. She caught up and walked beside me, holding on to her backpack straps. Holy hell, he's hot. Is that why you're wearing a skirt? No, we're just friends. Grazia tilted her head and sighed. Of course, that kind of guy does not waste time with girls like us. I frowned. He asked me, but I said no. I hated boasting, but what the hell. Grazia burst into genuine loud laughter. Since I kept staring, she asked, You said no to that? I nodded. Lee, you're out of your mind. I rolled my eyes. Even Starry said so. Who? Starry, my mom. It's a nickname my sister gave her years ago, and it's stuck. It's from the Clockwork Orange. I hadn't seen the movie, way too scary for me, but I had loved the book. Grazia told me the latest developments in Beverly Hills 90210, which Starry forbade me to watch. I stopped listening the moment I saw Nico. Grazia did not notice and babbled away. My heart thrummed at a hectic rhythm. What would Nico say? Chapter 2. My Missing Brain. Nico passed me by, glancing at my pink miniskirt. Wow, Balney, quite the outfit. Murda! The school, the late summer day. Grazia babbling beside me, everything disappeared. My vision tunneled on Nico's shrinking back, his words echoing in the space where my self-esteem had been. His smirk could have been a symptom of appreciation or mockery. Likely he didn't give a damn, but for the first time in our 4 years of friendship, he had called me by my last name like everyone else at school. It was as if he did not recognize me, which was appropriate since I didn't recognize myself either. I stopped dead in my tracks. Balney, you coming? Grazia called. I hunched over my left Superga sneaker, pretending to tie it. Go ahead. I swallowed hard. I was not the person I used to be, but I didn't know what I was becoming yet either. Nico and I were growing apart, not closer. I held back the tears and wished I could disappear, or at least have a change of clothes. I imagined spinning like Wonder Woman, thunder cracking, a new set of clothes appearing on me. Then I remembered her skimpy outfit and considered that my situation was not so bad. It's unbelievable what a male-led society thinks a woman of action should wear to kick some culo. At recess, I stayed at my desk, doodling on my planner. Strangely, Romeo noticed my mood. "Yo, Balney, what's wrong?" He turned the empty chair beside mine and sat on it, legs spread across it and arms resting on his back. I ignored his big smile and glinting brown eyes, which was hard. He exuded self-confidence, and I hated him for that. I answered the refrain I reserved for Starry. Nothing. I had thought to be treated as a girl, all I had to do was look like one, but instead I had lost the one thing I had kept intact through the years. My dignity. Blondie, as I called a classmate I didn't like and who had a huge crush on Romeo, had followed him to my desk and chimed into the conversation. She's lying. Balney is sad because she dolled up and nobody cares anyway. Stronza. Yeah, right. I dismissed her while the truth she had spoken rotted in my chest. Stood up to go lock myself in the bathroom and cry in peace. Midway down the hallway, someone seized my arm and turned me around. Balney. Oh, Murda. Not now, Nico. I looked away, but the harshness of his gaze did not leave me. Balney, I don't know who's the dude on the bike, but you're ridiculous in this get-up. This is not you. Nobody should force you to be something you're not. It was the drop. I shook him off and ran to the bathroom.